Hey everybody, my name is Spades, and today I'm going to be making a short guide discussing tips for beginners in Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2, while being easier to get into compared to other roguelikes, can still be a difficult game, and I'm here to share tips with you to hopefully improve your Risk of Rain 2 skills. First and foremost, if you are playing on Drizzle, stop. Drizzle should only be played to help you unlock stuff and nothing else, as Drizzle gives you a buff to your health regen, damage reduction, and difficulty scaling. Think of it like this: if you get comfortable with playing on Drizzle, then Rainstorm is going to be much harder, let alone Monsoon. In a way, you're going to have to go through two difficulty scalings. Start off by playing on Rainstorm, and then move to Monsoon, only doing Drizzle to unlock things. The second tip is to unlock every survivor as soon as possible, and play them all until you find your main. Every single survivor is a viable option and can do very well, of course with RNG that is. Some are easier than others, but you gotta find the one that you have the most fun with and works best with you. You will be surprised on how well you improve when you find the character that works with you. In the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna post some videos on how to unlock all the characters to help you out, so stay on the lookout for that. The third tip is time management. In Risk of Rain 2, time is always going forward, and with that, the difficulty is also rising as time goes on. This scales the enemies all around you, making them harder and harder to kill as time goes on. To combat this, you have your items. However, items can only carry you so far and are reliant on RNG. This is where you have to find a balance and take risk. Is it worth staying on a stage for a couple extra minutes to get an extra chest or two, or should you go? Those chests could have a brilliant behemoth, or you could get a shield generator. Take this tip with a grain of salt, as it does depend, but my goal is to get around stage 3 anywhere from 9 to 12 minutes, so about 3 to 5 minutes per stage. But the biggest thing to know is that it is okay to leave some items on the stage. You don't have to get every single chest, as yes, you'll have more items, but it'll make the next stage so much harder, and so on. You have to find a balance. Spending 3 to 5 minutes on a stage is just about the perfect time to get a couple of items while scaling with the enemies. Number 4 is movement. You always have to be on the move in Risk of Rain 2. Enemies are constantly spawning, and as time goes on, not only are they stronger, but more and more will spawn in. Standing still is almost never an option, as you can easily be swarmed and killed. Constantly moving heavily reduces your chances of getting hit, and almost completely negates melee-only enemies. Especially if you're playing a low mobility character, items like Paul Goat's Hoof, Hopu Feather, and Wax Quail will save your run. The last tip is learning your enemies. Almost like the survivors, most enemies play very different from one another, and with that, some enemies are much stronger than others. That is where you should learn your priority targets. Should you really spend your time to kill a group of beetles, or that brass contraption that can easily do a lot of damage, or even one-shot you at some points? Learning your enemies and learning what can end your runs easily will take a lot of trial and error. But a good rule of thumb is Clay Templar, brass contraptions, stone golems, and beetle guards are top priority in the early stages. Elites, bosses that spawn just in the stage, and Malachites later on become your top priority. With that, that's going to wrap up my beginner tips for Risk of Rain 2. If you have any questions or want to add something, feel free to comment down below. I'm planning on releasing more guides and even gameplay in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And with that, thanks for watching, and subscribe to keep updated.